Yeah, we are just getting started. Mighty Monty, pump it up.
Well, that was quite the blast to the face of an OP. It sent me all the way back in time to the 1990s and reminded me of the kind of music I heard growing up, back on my old cassette player. Yes, I'm that old. Anyway, the visuals were great. It's lovely to see so much hand animation following So I'm a Spider, So What's second half. A great anime, but at the same time, loads of CGI, so this is a breath of fresh air. Luck from Black Clover and Hinata from Haiku. I did like that slow motion reaction. Didn't see that coming and it made me laugh probably harder than intended. As I've been doing the past couple of videos, I want to please ask that you hit that subscribe button. My sub numbers are tied to my self-worth annoyingly, so it'd be really nice to see that rise back up. I always enjoy it when a little extra time is taken to create the new language that's not instantly recognised. Another anime which did this recently was the previously mentioned So I'm a Spider, So What, and the brilliant Jobless Reincarnation's first half. Okay, so this guy is voice acting royalty to me. I'm a massive fan of the Yakuza games, and he voiced the main character in most of them bar the most recent. He also voices the head of the school in Jujutsu Kaisen. Take that win, and man, his vocal range in this is crazy! Plot twist!
Sometimes
the narrator can be overbearing, but there's certain cases where it's actually required, and this is one such example, where one person is transported to another world. So it's either a narrator, or random bursts of exposition non-stop near the start, and I prefer this. This anime boasts some really wild looking animation styles, both colour palette wise, but also from a style standpoint, like this contrasting view more reminiscent of an American styled cartoon for example. It's a small win, but a win all the same for kind of going out of the box with designing this new demon world, such as the art style of the windows and lighting and such. Looks really great. Henry from Black Clover and surprisingly Yelena from the final season of Attack on Titan. That, but also the different feel of the room during the day. That was an oddly stark difference and very unexpected. Epic level scenery shot showcasing the entire demon school in all of its glory. Actually decent use of CGI. This dude is a personal favourite voice actor of mine. His voice is the opposite of how he looks. He does a voice in Tenshura of the head spy dude with the sword, and is also Takio from Oromonogatari, aka My Love Story, another personal favourite anime of mine. Oh, incredibly kawaii! Caesar Sapelli from JoJo! This school assembly scene from start to finish is brimming with animation. Massive credit to the animators for putting in so much effort into so many of the scenes. On top of yet more scenes of animated goodness, they can have another one here for using the scene as a way to introduce us early on to many of the upcoming cast. It's a clever way of doing it, helping a new viewer familiarise themselves with the cast. Iruma-kun. I'm not going to highlight all of these moments, but these reactions are pure gold, and he's the ideal choice to voice this character in my eyes.
けが。ちなみに今の呪文何の効果が？
成功するとその日一日転ばなくなるよ。
しょぼい。
What the spell achieves and its risks are so out there. It gets a win. I mean, how can it not? It's to stop him tripping or falling for a day.
君が優秀な悪魔なのか確かめる権利がある。なあ、その身をもって。
Some genuinely unexpected effects during this short scene, from the lighting effects from the flame to that awesome looking explosion.
まだ一回も攻撃してないぜ。手を出すまでもないってこと？私など攻撃するに値しないということか。
These are the kinds of misunderstandings that I don't mind, because it's funny and lends itself to the story forming before our eyes. The opposite of this for me has to be gamers, which I sinned. That was done in a poor way in my mind.
倒れる。
成功するとその日一日転ばなくなるよ。
なんだ一体。
そう、それは見事な。
This is absolutely brilliant. First episode starting off with a banger.
この身すべて捧げ、イルマ様の学園統治に尽力いたします。ちょっと待って。
Ending the episode with a really unique sounding song on top of the great twist, obviously, of him gaining a servant of sorts in the wackiest of ways. But yeah, the music is weird and unique and fits really nicely to the anime's vibe and theme. I genuinely loved that ED. Again, it fits the strange vibe they're going for scarily well. I adored the singer's cute singing. High energy, and equally as amazing for me was the visuals with a lovely looking style, bright colours, and just kind of made me smile and feel happy in all honesty.
イルマ様、何でもお命じください。
でも今は何もないから。
Much like the endings to Black Clover, I'm enjoying this vast art style change and scene.
今日から新入生の使い魔召喚の儀式が始まる。
The very fact that Kujo Jotaro exists within this anime grants it a win.
もうあれは初孫祝いだよ。これは入学祝いだってば。
My god, reactions like this cannot go without them receiving wins.
新入生163名をいくつかのグループに分けて授業が始まるまでの準備をするんです。そこで召喚した使い魔のレベルで生徒のランクを測ります。
This very brief but useful explanation of the school and how it's split up, and also going a little into ranks and such, just outlining the notion for us basically.
その煙が形をなし、使い魔になれ。
概要は以上だ。
叩き倒した。
I gotta say, these are charming little segments.
この実力でイルマに負けたのか。信じがたい。
I'm always giving mad props when an anime invents its own language, much like this. Once again, Jobless Reincarnation did this shockingly well, like so good.
この授業で僕が何もできなければ祝人間の世界に生還。
Unexpected art style change.
少しでもヘマをしたら即退学にしてやるわ。貴様の自慢の孫をな。
また人間が悪魔を呼び出し自らの使い魔とする儀式だ。イルマは人間である。つまり
使い魔。
Okay, so this is getting a maximum 2 wins, and when I explain this, it's literally how it went down. So I understood what was going to happen. As soon as he said he's a human, so he's summoning a demon, my jaw legit dropped and I burst out laughing, and that's an amazingly refreshing reaction from me. I loved this moment so much. For how it went down, for what it means for the future, it just gets 2 wins. Brilliant.
なんだこれは。一体何をした貴様。止めろ。今すぐ召喚を止めるのだ。ちぎれるちぎれる。バカ者。こういう時は押すものだ。
Right, take one more win for that epic reaction. I hear Jotaro so much from him. He's panicking. It's making me laugh so much. I love it.
おお。
無理に解除したら多分君ら死ぬよ。
Oh my word, I swear him shouting Sensei like that got me feeling vibes of Konosuba Season 2 where Kazuma rips up the contract he was tricked into signing by the little girl. Not running away from a dangerous familiar on the spot. Very cute voice on her character. It's a strange win by all accounts, but recently I've been praising more realism in scenes in regards to active conversations, such as them talking in the foreground whilst they talk in the background. It's more realistic than one conversation remaining silent until the other stops. I gotta admit, I really enjoy this kind of dynamic, rarely seen. The last time I can recall it is probably One Punch Man, where I found it utterly endearing, and so far it's much the same feeling here. Nicely finding a way to inject some mysterious elements into the anime, very much unexpected by me. Even though I highly doubt magic will be as important in this anime than it is in, say, ReZero, Jobless Reincarnation, or like quirks in My Hero and so on, it's still good to get a little taste for what it's all about. Oh.
クララ、僕。クララ？
God, it's like a hot emotional knife directly through to my heart. Bless her. She must be protected.
そんなものなくたって、僕は君と一緒に遊びたいよ。だってクララと遊ぶの楽しいもん。
Oh, such a sweet scene! He's such a sweet boy! He must also be protected! There's something so hilarious about her straight up sonicking trees because she's so overjoyed.
見てて。
Good on her, great character growth during this episode as well, plus the emotional moment. It's like I'm proud of her, oddly enough. That's some good writing, pacing, and voice acting right there.
人間と悪魔って友達になってもいいのか？
ねえねえ、今日は僕も大事な職員会議があるから学校行くよ。クラス分け決めるんだ。
Just dropping a win here for everything that's wild and wonderful as a whole in this. From the excellent displays of reactions and how they do that with the art style changes, to this dude randomly, happily dancing to school like this. It's wild and wonderful, and that sums it up.
よくお食べになるのですね。
そうかな。すいません。おかわり。おかわり。すいません。シェフが倒れた。
This is brilliant.
こいつの能力、見たもの出せる、万引きとみなす、要注意悪魔。万引き、竹槍でつく。
物騒すぎる。
久々の出勤だというのに、白昼堂々騒ぎを起こすアホは。
This is such a good comedy! It's got timing down beautifully and the funky atmosphere allows for all kinds of amazing comedic situations to occur naturally.
リズム取るんですか？
召喚解除だバカ者！
あ、そっか、このシール売り物だ。
おいちょっと待て、召喚を解け！
This is too much, man! I can't catch a damn breath! I swear it's like Konosuba level this episode for me!
だから、二人は僕の友達1号、2号ってことで。はい、
私1号。
貴様出しゃばるな。
でも、3人一緒なら この先の学校生活も楽しく過ごせるかもしれない。
This sort of stuff is so up my street you have no idea. I adore the relaxing feel-good vibes. It's anime like this that are a genuine joy for me to write scripts for. Like, I love Attack on Titan and My Hero Academia, but they're agonizing to write, I think because they're so long, there's more to it, but this is easy going. It's hard to describe, but I hope you get my drift.
ワラク君、アスモデウス君、そしてイルマ君は問題児たちを集めたアブノーマルクラスに決定。
End of episode confusing because it's his grandpa who dotes on him making the decision-related plot twist.
ほら、イルマくん目指したくないって言ってたでしょ。だからおじいちゃんその願いを叶えてあげた。
Okay, he thought it was to his benefit. That makes more sense. Take a grateful-related win.
ならよかった。
そういえばどうしてイルマ様は歩いて投稿なさるのですか？
Take one likely final win here for the animation in general. Like I mentioned before, the previous video I made was full of CGI near the end. Good anime, but I cannot get enough hand animation. It's glorious to my eyes, and this anime is full to the brim of great animation to boot, and so I'm extremely happy with that.
悪魔学校って言っても普通の学校みたい。
This scene reminded me that it's an actual legit school, and so of course there's going to be different classes doing different things. I'm getting hyped! All of his new classmates for the first time. Also though, oh dear lord, her with the horns!
よくわかる悪魔講座。悪魔には10段階のランクがあって、その一番上がヨドである。
Again, just little things like this really help us to understand the world of demons and how it's all set up.
どんな理屈だそれは。まあ特待生のしもべになった時点で。
The fact that she has spent the last few minutes measuring him.
タイムカムイいないのか。
Asta from Black Clover. See what I mean from a much earlier win about how well they lean into the unique aesthetic of this anime's world?
早く行け。
How was this going to turn out? Like, genuinely, I'm over here without a single clue. It's a JoJo, how are they going to pull out of the bag situation right here? I like this scene.
崖から突き落とされたイルマは落下中好奇心旺盛の魔界カラスにキャッチされ
Oh, alright then. That's how it went down. And, it happened again!
あずあず、今までありがとう。私のこと忘れないでね、あずあず。
だったら話せ。
ただいま、あずあず。
She is a stupidly great character in this, I swear. Holy heck, it actually healed up his leg, what's going on?
助かった。
Also though, being nice to demonic beasts is always a win. Yeah, see now, just like her, who is able to make food and drinks and such, how can I not win that? It's really awesome, to be honest.
いいかサブロ、お前は魔王になるべく生まれたのだ。我が家系の悲願を果たせ。はい。ウヌが魔王を目指す理由はただそれが一番かっこいいからよ。
Absolutely 100% tricked me. You got me, man. Okay, so he just wants to do it because it's cool, and that is exactly refreshing enough of a notion to smash out a win.
気が立ってイライラしてたのはお子さんの怪我のせいだったんですね。あ、僕ら何もしませんからね。
何を言っている。今がチャンスだ。
ね、置いて。
しかし
早く。
Just a plain old, flat-out great scene here. The voice acting was on point, you could feel the caution but also kindness and empathy in Iruma's voice, and it ended so nicely too. I think this is a perfect way for this to go down because it's the furthest thing from being a predictable outcome. I thought it would be that he walked over to the teacher due to him being his familiar and thus winning first place. Never saw it going this route, and that's a win because he didn't need to be first for it to work. The end of that scene gets one too. Really nice music and a warm welcome, oddly giving me vibes of Hunter x Hunter.
すげえダレスだ。さすが入試主席。
サブノックがベトでござるか？
もっと高いと思ってたわ。
Seeing how everyone ranked and the animators really taking extra steps to ensure we know them all, such as these glowing golden numbers above their heads, rather than expecting us to remember them all. Also though, this gets a win for setting up the power structure of the class, a component I didn't think would be a factor, interestingly enough.
彼は異教より舞い降りて右手に黄金に輝くソロモンの指輪を宿す。
Brilliant. Once again, just didn't predict it. I thought he'd either get nothing or the top rank. Not that, as it turns out, he's kind of destined to become king after all. I'm loving this story. There's more depth to it than first meets the eye, and on top of that, obviously I've adored everything to date. I didn't see things going this way. What do I do now? This anime is the best. What a song though. It actually has a legit beat.
案ずるな我がライバルよ。こんな黒煙は引っこ抜いてやる。
サブノック君。デジャブ。
It's doing the kind of super thing again. It's too much. It needs to be stopped.
おいイルマ、ちょっとよく見せ。粛清対象だ。こら、それはダメ。
I think this just has to count as a plot twist. There's certainly more to the situation than I first thought. Look at you adding more splashes of mystery to this already amazing smelling dish.
そして測定不能のイルマのランクは一番下のアレフとなった。
Unexpected but admittedly minor plot twist.
さ、そろそろゴール地点に行かなきゃ。
だが翼が。
It's a small thing, but I enjoyed learning why they got a lift in the end, as I had wondered why he didn't just fly them over himself, but obviously his wings were damaged from the battle. Actually animating decent looking horses, that's so rare in anime, must just be really hard to do.
人間ってうまいのかな？お前まだ人間とか信じてんのかよ。
Ah, now that's even more interesting, because humans are a fable of sorts in this world. Now it does make so much more sense why the things he does get explained away in different ways.
私感動しよう。
おはよう、イルマち。
するか貴様。
そろそろ教室に。
絨毯返してください。
So the kind of humour I find utterly appealing is the randomness of it. Her bursting into the scene rolled up in the carpet, them fighting, and above all is him asking for the carpet back. It's so funny to me.
今日は魔術を使ってお花を咲かせてみましょう。
Beatrice from ReZero.
評価 B+。
まったく品のない。これが品格というものだ。
I'm enjoying this first proper lesson. It's given the anime an even more unique feel to it, and it kind of stops it from feeling episodic with this approach and instead serves to tie the whole story together.
綺麗に咲いたわ。
今何か。
おらる、何もおらる。
おい、こちらが変なもん出たぞ。
あれ、本当にいなくなった。
Oh, it's just too good. It's that simple. Her character is perfect for the comedy elements. I never once expected this anime to be this funny, but I'm so glad it is. Such a joy to watch.
イルマ様。
ほら前にさ、その指輪に僕の魔力込めたでしょう。だから君今魔術使えるから。
桜が咲いた。
Okay, so 2 wins here. The first win is for the gorgeous looking sight of the cherry blossom tree. That was stunning looking. And the second win is for the fact that now with that ring, he's able to use magic, because obviously without that ability, he'd soon struggle to an unreasonable degree in future episodes.
あれは人間の世界にしか存在しない花だ。
人間？
特待生イルマ。
Plot twist! She's onto him being a human. It adds another intriguing element to the anime. Loving it! I like this demon. She reminds me of her with the glasses out of prison school. You know the one.
人間が実在するという真実をバビルスを守るために明日も早起きせねば
Not walking on the spot for an impressively long amount of time. Animators be like 35 frames for a walk to the bookcase. No big deal. They're legends. And then 3 minutes later, they do it again.
よし
遅刻遅刻
She's reading human manga.
怪我はない。
これが人間のチャームの力なのかいかんいかんいかんいかんいかん
Her entire reaction to reading this manga, just beyond cute, one after the next with a side dose of funny for good measure.
すみません
大丈夫。
大丈夫ですか貴様名を教えろイルマですけど間違いないこいつは絶対に人間だ
Oh, you know I knew it was coming, and yet at the same time, you know it's getting a win. You're psychic like that. I like you. Everything that's happening in this scene, the fact that the manga looks actually good and is included into the anime, and these reaction shorts look great done in a different style.
どうしよう
Again, man, the comedy kills me. It's so random. It knows exactly the kind of comedic tone it's striving for and keeps hitting the bullseye every single time.
ではこれは何と読む
This has just added another ridiculously intriguing concept to the anime, that this one girl now knows that he's probably a human but at the same time is too captivated with him knowing the actual lines to her favourite manga. I tell you, this anime is outstanding in terms of how it's captured me. I really didn't expect much from the poster. I guess that's truly why you shouldn't judge a book by its cover.
この女悪魔かそういうわけでは続けますね
On top of loving the scene, which is 50% of the win, like how she's enjoying the reading of the book, the other 50% is for these snacks looking genuinely delicious. Umai! Demon Slayer reference!
私の番号を登録しておいた
He's got a girl's phone number!
人間界の親
イルマを悪魔に売って
お金もらおう
おもちゃは欲しいものなんでもあげるよ。
人間界の衣食住魔界の衣食住
Even though it's dealt with in an amusing way, this short scene does serve a purpose to show how bad he truly did have it. Bullied, basically abused by his so-called parents. His life here is worlds apart, both literally and figuratively in this case.
ハイランクで学校を卒業できれば人間界に行くことも可能と聞いたことがあります
They do a brilliant job of peppering in bits of important information. There's been, to date, several mysterious elements just lightly touched on and then moved past, and this one is added to the list, just keeping things really interesting, less episodic, and downright entertaining.
イルマくんへ放課後談話室で待ってますアメリ
よくわからんがすごく恥ずかしいよくわかんないけどすごく美味しい
I have no idea how, but this anime is so good!
あのように一人でどこかへ行ってしまわれる一体どこへ気になって夜も眠れ
イルマちと遊びたい
これは悠々しき事態だわかるな
ずるいあの子ずるい混ざりたい
Something that bugs me the tiniest amount in similar anime is when someone is behaving similar to them and then suddenly change in personality a bit and stop acting the way I like. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but safe to say that how they're acting at episode 7 is beyond perfect to me and my own personal likes for this kind of dynamic, basically.
卒業したら父の仕事を手伝うがそれまでになすべきことは決めてあるまあケーキ屋さんとかお花屋さんとやらにも興味はあるが
Adding in this bit of a dive into her character, something I didn't anticipate much of in this one, but so far it's done it more than expected. In fact, on 4 occasions to date. Of course it's nothing deep yet, but it's still wanted and commendable.
突撃していい
いいわけあるか
Oh, you are just perfect with the lines and timing. I'm blown away.
このドアには触れたぞ
Just outside the door. Man, I'm in such a great mood winning this. It's a case where the anime just makes me happy, I think.
その動画邪魔
やめておけ。
だ開けごめん
It's comedy, but let's be real, even as a funny battle, it's well animated. So many frames of goodness to enjoy.
私に並ぶのを待っているぞイルマ。
さあ戻るぞ
Yeah, now see, I just plain old like her. I love the dynamic between these three, everything is clicking like crazy. It's a good time to be alive and a fan of anime. Beautiful still shot the Demon Mansion at night.
拷問学、実技薬学などなど選択科目に丸をつけよう。目立たないのは
For some reason, I'm deriving quite a bit of joy from the school aspects of the show. I guess to my mind, I'm just impressed that it's expanding the story in such a fashion.
キバな魅惑の教師そのうふんな授業は言葉では言い表せないほどむふふ
I get the feeling that you already know, and I'm not about to waste either of our time going through something that you already know.
エリザベット 89% 素晴らしいわテキストはええね
Is that all? I swear this anime employs so many different art style changes that it may end up moving into second place behind the outstanding Mob Psycho 100, which uses what can only be described as an insane amount.
ステップ3入れるものをつけて興味を引く甘さリンリンリンリン
目を離した隙にまたお前は珍妙なことを
That. Just that.
必殺傷返し
Well, this was incredibly and unexpectedly wholesome.
世界で一番可愛いのはそれはクララ
I mean, they wrote and performed and animated an entire song about kissing. You can't just skip that by and pretend it didn't exist like some heartless soul.
あ
こっくり
You know, way back at the start, and then after a few episodes, I wrote about the environment and how much effort was put into making it look unique. I'm really feeling the need to express that thought again here. When you take the time to pay attention to even just this hallway, it's filled with design. It's very impressive. Inside the school-related scenery shot with beautiful colours.
女の子
え
私女の子そう思うなんだそっかそっかいつかメロメロにしてやるぜ
That was just a nice scene in all honesty. She felt good being recognised by him as a girl, and the way they displayed it was just again genuinely sweet and nice.
普通の悪魔の枠には収まらぬお方であるがゆえに一番下のアレフになってしまうなんてあいやイルマ様のことだきっと私などには計り知れぬ深いお考えがあってのこと
And just like I mentioned during win number 108, the fact that his personality hasn't changed or altered yet in reference to Iruma is perfect to me, and that continues to be the case. Yet another art style changer there!
生き殺し
うるさい
まだまだ行くぞそれそれそれ
I didn't expect an exhibition of all of the students' magical looking abilities all of a sudden. I wasn't ready for this.
特訓ですねイルマ様の場合また測定不能になってしまうこともありえます
You know, an extra win here is definitely for starting him at the bottom of the rankings. I know I lightly touched on this before, but that's genius since it gives him something to work at consistently and all the stages that come along with it. My word, those effects were honestly amazing looking. I don't even think that was CGI.
ありがとうおじいちゃん
じわ
If the humor wasn't so wacky, it really wouldn't be as funny. Like, still funny, but not on this level. I'm a massive fan of when anime choose to animate their montages. It's so much better than music over a series of still images.
傷だらけではないですか。
2回に1回は手に当たるようになってきたんだ。
イルマ様は変わっていらっしゃる。
よーし、練習再開だ。
Also, credit to the story and characters' consistency here. It must have been hard to craft this part of the story where two followers who believe him to be infallible and incredibly beyond strong are forced to watch him essentially flail and fail at something they can do. But instead of being understandably awkward to the prior story, they fully support him like the friends they are, and it becomes utterly heartwarming. That was well crafted. With that music and that build-up, even him catching a dodgeball is worthy of the win. Plus the catch itself just looked good.
どうやら準備はできたようだね。
Take a win here for the music in general. It's very complementary to the anime, it fits the theme but doesn't detract from what's going on screen, and this track in particular sounds very Final Fantasy-ish.
万端に
Kawaii. Absolutely loads of not walking on the spot, because why not? They're great animators with dedication to this anime and their craft. Dedication! Plot twist! I know I've already given her a win, but the fact that she's in this anime is just amazing.
練習の成果が出てる。ありがとう、オペラさん。
It's a small and weird win, but changing a character's hair is extremely rare in anime. Just barely ever happens, and so them doing it the past 2 episodes is to me pretty cool.
うぬがそのふぬけをしたら。
アス君。
シアンの
邪魔をするな。
That was brilliant and unexpected.
わざと負けてランクを上げていただく。バカか私は。恥を知れアスモデウス。
Brilliant job on building his character and executing it. He toes an amazingly fine line between being too over the top, bending over backwards for him in every way, and being fully independent, and that line is consistently walked perfectly, just like here. The effects and animation mixed together really fondly reminds me of the same scene in Hunter x Hunter on Creed Island, beautifully put together. They switched mid-air, and then the huge guy gets a go. See what I mean? Brilliantly genius.
イルマ殿、ベタへのランク昇級を認める。
An actually great storyline this episode. Him gaining the raise in rank all by himself, off his own merit and hard work, whilst keeping all of his friends happy and in that same lane I've talked about appreciating so much.
あー、怖い。どうしよう。でもひるんじゃダメ。怖いけど。
He not only reads this so well, like really getting into it, but he's an amazing fit for the character. In fact, shout out to them all. They fit their characters beautifully.
これからの僕の夢は、僕の野望は、またランクを上げればいいのだろうか。
Instead of making it incredibly simplistic, I believe him having this difficulty is much more interesting for the character as a whole. It adds another layer, making him non-one-dimensional.
一体どうやって手なずけて。手なずけられてる。
了解しました。
わあ、君。名前なんだっけ。
She's still amazing.
ひねる。
すみません、すみません。可愛い使い魔だね。
やめんか気持ち悪い。貴様。
Having Jotaro voice this character was the best thing they ever did. purely for moments like this. Ah, it's so cute but so funny at the same time. He did a little step, look at him!
次は使い魔とダンスイエーイイエーイ追いかけっこ二人三脚
It's Kono's super level comedy. This wouldn't work so well if it wasn't his strict teacher. It's perfect. It again needs to be stopped. We gotta pull the plug!
以前カナキリの長に襲われた時なぜ私を召喚しなかった？私が弱そうだからか？
いえ、そんな先生を召喚するなんて恐れ多いですし、それにもし召喚したらカナキリの長先生のどちらかが怪我するかと思って。
Genuinely sweet moment which actually tells us more about both characters. Firstly, that his teacher was perhaps a little hurt that he wasn't called upon to help when Iruma was in need, and also that Iruma didn't want to call him through fear of him getting hurt.
よく見たら可愛い顔してるね。
The fact that before the alarm had sounded, she had already successfully rescued our boy. Very true to her character.
例えば飛行バトラー、魔生物バトラー、薬学研究バトラーなど。
Introducing an entirely new notion to the anime at this midway junction, with new groups and very likely new characters in those groups. Loved it, plain and simple, and the first half is getting a final win for how much I loved it. I think the characters are amazing, the dynamic between the main three is to die for, the comedy is hilarious, and there's actual mysterious elements mixed in, wholesome moments, heartfelt scenes and loads more. I genuinely cannot wait to cover the second half in a couple weeks time, and for anyone who is confused, I did 11 episodes as my series tends to be bottom heavy by nature, so I figured I'd put 12 in the second half to even it out a little. As always, please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming up. A like and a comment is amazing, and sharing it around, of course. And if you want to pick what I create, you can do so by using the Patreon link in the description and pledging a minimum of $4 for Anime Wins voting. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the second half or in whatever video you pick next. Nathan Byrne, Bird Without a Word, Tyler Warner, Ali 50, Kawada Takashiro, Ted L, Isael Caldera, Mr. Waffle 64, Kieran Robinson, Chris Harris, Yona Schal, Manolo Saucedo Munoz, Steelers, Matthew Blanchett, Kim Munt, Manuel Morales, Carnito, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, The Blitzcloud, Aurakeeper, Kepper, Jeffer 6263, Magnus, Kevin Nelter, Brendan Krier, Kaj Vozelman, Sean Graves, The Epic Amanda, Galaxy Boss 22, Leaf Arn Hammer, Sentimento, Gaten 2000, Storm 970, Inakali and Water, Your Ed Vincent.